Okay, so we've got quite the challenge here. A whole book of daily meditations to dive into. Looks like we're ready to uh, really get into some deep thoughts about life and I guess how to live it, more fully.
Yeah, it's interesting, isn't it? I mean, each of these meditations, stands on its own, but there's a few key themes that just keep popping up. You see the power of awareness, the importance of the present moment, and this transformative potential of love.
Yeah, it's like every single day gives you this new perspective, a new way to approach all those tricky parts of life and find more joy and fulfillment.
Absolutely, and it really doesn't hold back. It tackles some pretty big ideas. For example, there's one meditation that dives right into the concept of illumination. Basically, it argues that your internal state, like how you're feeling inside, directly shapes how you see the world around you.
So if you're feeling like joyful and full of light, the world kind of mirrors that back.
Precisely. And on the flip side, when you're feeling down or, a bit clouded, everything might seem a little, well, dimmer. But the really fascinating part is that the book suggests that we actually have the power to choose the light, to cultivate a more positive inner state, if you will.
Okay, now I'm really intrigued. How does it suggest we do that?
Well, it kind of challenges some common assumptions about what meditation actually is. It's not about chanting mantras or sitting in a specific position or anything. Instead, it's about becoming truly conscious. Transforming those unconscious habits and reactions into awareness.
So it's more of an internal shift in focus from kind of external ritual.
Exactly. It points out that most of us are, well, operating on just a tiny fraction of our full mental capacity. It's like we're living in a dimly lit house, but we have the power to switch on all the lights.
And meditation is the key to illuminating those dark corners of our minds.
That's the idea. And this whole concept of awareness, it ties in really beautifully with another meditation on forgiveness. But it's not just about forgiving others. It's about forgiving, well, life itself.
Forgiving life itself. That's a new one for me.
Yeah, it's an interesting idea. The book suggests that whenever you find yourself, doing something that doesn't quite align with your true self, instead of beating yourself up about it, you can you can ask life for forgiveness. It's about acknowledging those moments when we fall short of our own aspirations and giving ourselves permission to be, well, human.
So it's about letting go of that self-judgment and accepting that we're all, works in progress.
Exactly. And then it goes even further. It suggests we extend this forgiveness outward to others, even those who we feel have wronged us.
Because holding on to anger and resentment just ends up hurting us more.
Precisely. The book, it frames forgiveness as an act of self-compassion. It's a way to free ourselves from all that heavy negativity.
This reminds me of another meditation that really stuck with me, the one on gratitude. It's not just like being thankful for the big stuff. It's about appreciating the small everyday moments. The simple act of breathing, the warmth of the sun on your skin.
That's a good point. What's really fascinating about that particular meditation is that it encourages us to cultivate a sense of wonder and appreciation for everything we have, seeing it all as a gift.
And it doesn't mean being passive or complacent. We can still try to, make the world a better place.
Yeah.
But we do it from a place of gratitude, not entitlement.
Absolutely. It's a subtle shift, but a powerful one. Instead of focusing on what's missing, we can choose to appreciate the abundance that's already present.
This actually leads perfectly into another interesting idea from the book, Laughter. It talks about how life, in all its unexpected turns, is almost, well, absurd.
It does. It encourages us to embrace that absurdity, to find the humor in the unexpected, to lighten up a little, letting go of that need to always take ourselves so seriously.
Because sometimes laughter really is the best medicine.
Exactly.
Yeah.
The book suggests that laughter has this transformative power. It can help us release tension, boost our mood, and even connect with others more authentically.
Yeah, it's like a little reminder not to get bogged down by all the serious stuff in life, to find those moments of lightness and joy, even when things are tough.
And building on that idea of finding joy, there's a whole section on celebrating life, not just birthdays or special events, but celebrating the small moments that make life so rich and vibrant.
I love that. What kind of everyday things does it suggest celebrating?
Well, it could be anything, really. Enjoying a good meal, appreciating a beautiful sunset, having a a meaningful conversation with someone you care about. It's about actively choosing to find joy in the present moment, no matter how small or seemingly insignificant it might seem.
It's about savoring those little moments that make up the tapestry of our lives.
Precisely. It doesn't have to be about grand gestures or expensive things. It's more about cultivating a mindset of appreciation and finding ways to infuse our days with joy.
That really resonates with me. I feel like we so often get caught up in the hustle and bustle of everyday life that we forget to appreciate all the simple beauty around us.
Absolutely. The book offers a gentle nudge to slow down, to pay attention, and to savor the little things that make life, well, extraordinary.
I'm really enjoying this whole exploration. It feels like we're uncovering all these gems of wisdom and practical tips for living a more fulfilling life.
Me too. And there's still so much more to uncover. For instance, there's this really thought-provoking meditation on the difference between being cautious and being conscious.
Now that's something I think we can all relate to, right? It's that age-old struggle between playing it safe and taking risks.
Absolutely. The book acknowledges that caution has its place, especially when there's, real danger. But it also points out how caution can become a limiting factor, preventing us from taking chances, trying new things, really embracing all the possibilities that life throws at us.
Yeah, it's like that fear of failing or the unknown that can sometimes, just paralyze us, keep us stuck in our comfort zones.
Exactly. The book, it challenges us to cultivate a state of conscious awareness where we're present and attentive to our experiences, but we don't let fear dictate our actions.
So it's not about being reckless, but about finding that balance between prudence and courage.
Exactly. It's about recognizing that sometimes the greatest rewards are waiting for us on the other side of our fears.
And speaking of things that hold us back, there's a really powerful meditation on the critical mind. I know I personally struggle with that a lot.
It's something we all grapple with to some extent. The book acknowledges that the critical mind can be useful, especially for analytical tasks, problem solving, that sort of thing.
Like when we need to make big decisions or evaluate a situation logically.
Exactly. But the book also it highlights how that critical mind can become a barrier to experiencing the fullness of life, the richness of it all.
Because our inner critic is always, pointing out our flaws, our shortcomings.
Yeah.
It prevents us from seeing the good, the positive.
Precisely. It's like we're always looking for what's wrong instead of appreciating what's right. The book suggests that we need to quiet that inner critic and cultivate self-acceptance instead.
So it's about shifting our focus from self-criticism to self-compassion.
Exactly. And from self-compassion, we can move towards a deeper understanding of the ego. There's a fascinating meditation that describes the ego not as our true essence, but as a construct, a collection of stories and beliefs that we create about ourselves.
So it's not who we truly are, but more like a bunch of ideas and perceptions that we've gathered over time.
Right. The book, it suggests that the ego is always seeking validation, approval,
Yeah.
leading us to compare ourselves to others, to strive for these external measures of success.
Like we get caught in this cycle of trying to prove our worth instead of recognizing that we are inherently valuable just as we are.
Precisely. And the book challenges us to detach from the ego, to see it as separate from our true selves, and to cultivate a sense of inner worth that doesn't rely on external validation.
So it's about recognizing our inherent value, regardless of our achievements or what other people think of us.
That's the key. And as we detach from the ego, we can begin to explore these deeper states of consciousness, states that exist beyond the confines of our usual mental chatter. The book even uses the experience of orgasm as an example of this.
Oh, that's an interesting analogy. How does orgasm relate to egolessness?
Well, it suggests that in those moments of intense pleasure, we kind of transcend our usual sense of self. Our thoughts and worries fade away, and we experience a state of pure presence.
So it's like a glimpse into what it feels like to be free from the constraints of the ego.
Precisely. It's a fleeting experience, but it points to the possibility of accessing these deeper states of
I
consciousness.
see. It's like a taste of what's possible when we let go of those limiting beliefs and mental constructs.
Exactly. And speaking of limiting beliefs, the book has a very powerful meditation on guilt, specifically how society often imposes it on us. It challenges us to question those societal norms and expectations that make us feel guilty for things that are, well, natural and human.
What kind of things are we talking about here?
It could be anything, really, from our desires and ambitions to our imperfections and vulnerabilities. It argues that this guilt is often used to control and manipulate us, keeping us in line with what society deems acceptable.
So it's about recognizing that guilt can sometimes be a tool for social control
Yeah.
rather than a genuine indicator of wrongdoing.
Precisely. It encourages us to examine those feelings of guilt and ask ourselves, are they really ours, or have they been imposed upon us by external forces?
So it's about reclaiming our power and living in alignment with our own values instead of conforming to those external pressures.
Right. And this actually ties into another important concept that the book explores flexibility both physically and mentally.
I'm sensing a theme here. A lot of these meditations seem to be about letting go of rigid ways of thinking and being.
You're absolutely right. The book really highlights the importance of being adaptable, being able to bend without breaking, so to speak.
Because that rigidity, that inflexibility, it can lead to suffering, especially in a world that's constantly in flux.
Exactly. It's like trying to hold on to a fixed image of ourselves and our lives when everything around us is in motion.
The book seems to advocate for a more fluid, adaptable approach, like a tree bending in the wind.
That's a great analogy. It's about finding strength in our ability to flow with those natural rhythms of change rather than resisting them.
I like that. It makes me think of another challenge that we all face: fear. The book actually has a whole meditation on fear, specifically the kind of fear that doesn't have a specific object.
Yes, it's that pervasive sense of anxiety and unease that can linger even when there's, no apparent threat. It can make us hesitant, unsure of ourselves, and hold us back from fully engaging with life.
So it's like a free-floating fear
Hmm.
that attaches itself to anything and everything, creating this sense of general unease.
Exactly. The book suggests that this kind of fear often stems from a deep-seated insecurity, a lack of trust in ourselves and in the world around us.
It's like this lack of grounding, a feeling of being untethered.
That's a good way to put it. And this particular meditation, it encourages us to really explore the roots of that fear, to understand where it comes from, and to find ways to cultivate a greater sense of security and trust.
That makes sense. Understanding the source of our fears can often be the first step toward overcoming them.
And speaking of things we often try to overcome, the book has a really intriguing meditation on ignorance. But it's not about being, uninformed or uneducated. It actually challenges the idea that knowledge is always power, suggesting that sometimes ignorance can be, well, more liberating.
Okay, now that's a thought-provoking idea.
Yeah.
How can ignorance be liberating?
Well, the book argues that our constant striving to know, to understand everything, can actually create anxiety and a sense of separation. It can prevent us from experiencing the world with that sense of wonder and awe.
Because we're so busy trying to analyze and categorize everything that we miss the simple beauty of the experience itself.
Precisely. The book suggests that we need to cultivate a sense of humility, to acknowledge the limits of our knowledge and embrace the unknown with curiosity and openness.
So it's about letting go of that need to have all the answers and allowing ourselves to be surprised by life's mysteries.
Right. And this idea of embracing the unknown, it connects really nicely with another meditation that focuses on the simplicity of life.
Simplicity, something that we often crave but struggle to achieve.
Absolutely. This meditation contrasts the way we often we complicate things with our thoughts and anxieties, with the natural ease and simplicity of how nature operates.
It's like we've created this complex web of anxieties mental gymnastics that distract us from the simple joys of just being alive.
Exactly. The book, it reminds us that true happiness isn't about, amassing possessions or achieving some grand goal. It's about finding contentment in the present moment and appreciating the simple beauty that surrounds us.
So it's about stripping away the unnecessary and focusing on what really matters.
Precisely. And this brings us to another important concept that the book explores the idea of accepting ourselves as we are.
Now that's a powerful message in a world that's constantly telling us we need to, strive for self-improvement.
Exactly. The book challenges that notion, suggesting that this pursuit of self-improvement often stems from a sense of inadequacy, of self-rejection.
Because we're always comparing ourselves to others and focusing on our perceived flaws.
Precisely. The book argues that true happiness, true fulfillment comes from accepting ourselves with all our flaws and imperfections, rather than trying to mold ourselves into some idealized version of who we think we should be.
It's about recognizing our inherent worth and embracing the unique individuals that we are.
And that acceptance, that self-love, it's the foundation for living authentically. The book has this very powerful meditation on the dangers of denying our true selves, of suppressing our desires, our impulses, in order to conform to those societal expectations.
It's like we're living a lie, trying to fit into a mold that doesn't truly reflect who we are.
Exactly. The book argues that this denial can lead to a sense of fragmentation, a sense of alienation as we become disconnected from our core being.
So it's about recognizing that our authenticity is our strength.
Yeah.
That the world needs the unique gifts and perspectives that only we can offer.
Absolutely. And it's about having the courage to live in alignment with our own values, even if it means, going against the grain.
Well, that's a powerful message, and it makes me think of another challenge that we often face, distinguishing between our needs and our desires. The book actually has a meditation that explores this very topic.
It does. It's a fascinating exploration. It differentiates between our basic needs for survival, for well-being, and then all those endless desires that our minds create.
Right. It's like our needs are finite and can be met relatively easily, but our desires are insatiable. We always want more.
Precisely. The book suggests that this constant chasing after more, it often comes from a sense of lack, a sense of insecurity, a belief that we're not enough just as we are.
So it's about realizing that true happiness, true fulfillment comes from within.
Yeah.
From a place of inner peace and self-acceptance than from, material things or achievements.
Exactly. It's about finding contentment in what we already have and appreciating the abundance that surrounds us.
This reminds me of another meditation that really spoke to me, the one on the miracle of life.
Yes, that's a beautiful one. It challenges us to see the world with a sense of wonder and awe, to recognize that our very existence is a remarkable event, an improbable one, really.
It's about appreciating the fragility, the preciousness of life, and finding joy in that simple act of being alive.
Exactly. It encourages us to make the most of every moment, to savor the beauty and wonder that surrounds us, and to live with a sense of gratitude for the gift of life itself.
Yeah, it's about shifting our perspective from taking life for granted to seeing it as a precious and a fleeting opportunity to experience, to learn, to love.
And speaking of love, there's this beautiful meditation on the importance of being unconditional in our love. Of giving freely without expecting anything in return.
No, that's a tall order, isn't it? To love without any strings attached.
It is, but the book suggests that true love is about acceptance. It's about compassion. It's about seeing the beauty and divinity in others, even when they're not at their best.
So it's about letting go of the need to control or change others.
Yeah.
And instead offering our love and support unconditionally.
And it's about recognizing that unconditional love doesn't mean being a doormat or allowing ourselves to be mistreated.
So it's about setting healthy boundaries while still offering love and compassion from a place of strength and clarity.
Precisely. It's about finding that delicate balance between honoring our own needs and offering love and support to others without any expectations or conditions.
This exploration of love and acceptance, it makes me think of another challenge that many of us face, that fear of mediocrity. The book has a meditation on this very topic, right?
It does. It encourages us to never settle for a life that's just okay, to push beyond our comfort zones and strive for excellence in everything we do.
But it's not about ego or competition, right? It's about honoring our gifts, our talents,
Yeah.
and using them to make a positive impact on the world.
Exactly. It's about recognizing that we have the potential for greatness within us,
Mhm.
and that we shouldn't let fear or complacency hold us back from reaching our full potential.
It's about striving to be the best versions of ourselves, not for accolades or recognition, but for the joy of expressing our unique gifts and
Yeah,
talents.
absolutely. And speaking of expressing ourselves, there's this fascinating meditation on the nature of polarities,
Yeah,
on how life is full of opposites, highs and lows, joys and
I
sorrows.
think we can all relate to that. Life is this constant ebb and flow.
Right. And the book suggests that we get caught up in trying to cling to the highs and avoid the lows, and in doing so, we create a lot of unnecessary suffering.
Because we're resisting the natural flow of life, trying to force things to be a certain way.
Exactly. It's like we're swimming against the current instead of surrendering to the flow.
It seems like the book is encouraging us to find that sense of balance, of equanimity,
Yeah.
to embrace both the light and the darkness, knowing that they're both essential parts of the wholeness of life.
Precisely. It's about recognizing that life is a tapestry woven from both joy and sorrow, and that by accepting both, we experience the full spectrum of human experience, and this acceptance of life's inherent duality. It ties into another concept that the book explores, the power of cultivating a beginner's mind.
A beginner's mind. What exactly does that mean?
Well, it's about approaching life with a sense of curiosity, of openness, as if we're experiencing everything for the very first time.
So letting go of all those preconceived notions and assumptions, and just approaching each experience with fresh eyes.
Exactly. The book suggests that this beginner's mind, it allows us to see things more clearly, to break free from those rigid thought patterns,
Yeah.
and be more receptive to new ideas and perspectives.
It's like we're constantly learning and growing instead of getting stuck in our old ways.
Right. And this beginner's mind can be really helpful in being more present in our lives, which is the focus of another powerful meditation. It's about letting go of the past, not worrying about the future, just focusing our attention on the here and now.
I think that's something we all struggle with, especially in today's fast-paced world. It's so easy to get caught up in the past, or worry about what's coming next.
It is. The book suggests that our mind, they often get caught up in reliving past experiences or anticipating future events, and because of that, we miss out on the richness of life as it's happening.
Yeah, it's like we're constantly somewhere else in our minds,
Yeah.
instead of being fully present in the current moment.
Exactly. And this meditation encourages us to cultivate a practice of mindfulness, to bring our attention back to the present moment whenever it wanders, and to find peace and contentment in the simplicity of just being.
So it's about training our minds to be more present, to appreciate the beauty of each moment as it unfolds, rather than dwelling on the past, or worrying about the future.
Precisely. And this ability to be present, it can be especially helpful in navigating the complex world of relationships,
Yeah.
which is the focus of another really powerful meditation.
Yeah, relationships can definitely be challenging,
Yeah.
especially in a world where we're constantly bombarded with distractions and demands on our time and attention.
They can. The book suggests that we often go through our relationships on autopilot,
Mhm.
distracted by our own thoughts, our worries, our to-do lists, rather
Yeah.
than being fully present with the people right there in front of us.
Yeah, it's like we're physically present, but mentally checked out, just going through the motions instead of truly connecting with the people we care about.
Exactly. And the book it encourages us to cultivate this practice of mindful presence in our relationships, to put down our phones, to really listen, to make eye contact, to really be there for the people that matter most to us.
So it's about being more intentional in our interactions, really making an effort to be fully present and engaged.
That's the key. And this intentionality can also be applied to our own self-care, which is the focus of another really insightful meditation.
Yeah, self-care is so important, but it's often the first thing to go when we're feeling, overwhelmed or stressed.
It is. The book it reminds us that self-care isn't selfish, it's essential. It's about nurturing our physical, emotional, and spiritual well-being, and making time for those activities that nourish and replenish
It's
us.
about taking care of ourselves so we can better show up for others and for the things that are important to us.
Right. It's about recognizing that we can't pour from an empty cup, and that by taking care of ourselves, we actually have more to give.
And speaking of giving, the book
Yeah.
has this beautiful meditation on the transformative power of love. It talks about how love can heal our wounds. It can connect us to others, and awaken us to the beauty and wonder of life.
It does. It suggests that that love is not just a feeling, but a way of being, a state of consciousness that allows us to experience the interconnectedness of all things.
It's about seeing beyond our individual separateness and recognizing the divine spark that resides within every living being.
Right, and the book encourages us to cultivate love in all aspects of our lives, in our relationships, in our work, in our interactions with the world around us.
It's about radiating love outward, creating a ripple effect that touches everyone we encounter.
Exactly. And speaking of radiating outward, the book has a really thought-provoking meditation on the concept of enoughness. It challenges that idea that we always need more, that we're never satisfied with what we have.
Yeah, I think that's something we can all relate to,
Yeah.
especially in a culture that's constantly telling us what we lack and what we need to buy to be happy.
Absolutely. The book suggests that this constant striving for more, it often stems from a sense of lack and insecurity, a belief that we're not worthy or deserving of abundance.
It's like we're constantly chasing after something that's always just out of reach instead of appreciating what we already have.
Precisely. And the book encourages us to cultivate a sense of contentment, a sense of gratitude, to appreciate the abundance that already exists in our lives, and to let go of that need to always, to always have more.
It's about recognizing that true happiness, true fulfillment, it comes from within, from a place of inner peace and self-acceptance,
Mhm.
not from external possessions or achievements.
And that inner peace and self-acceptance, it can be cultivated through the practice of setting boundaries, which is another important concept that the book explores.
Boundaries are so crucial, especially in today's hyper-connected world where it's so easy to feel overwhelmed and depleted.
Absolutely. The book talks about how we often give too much of ourselves, allowing others to take advantage of our kindness or to drain our energy. And it suggests that setting healthy boundaries is essential for our well-being. It allows us to protect our time, our energy, and our emotional resources.
So it's about recognizing our limits,
Yeah.
knowing when to say no, and prioritizing our own needs without feeling guilty or selfish.
Exactly. It's about creating a healthy balance in our relationships where both parties feel respected and supported.
And this sense of self-respect, it ties into another important concept that the book explores: self-trust.
It does. It suggests that we often doubt ourselves, seeking validation and approval from others rather than trusting our own wisdom, our own instincts.
It's like we've given away our power, looking to others to tell us what to do, how to live, instead of listening to the voice of our own inner knowing.
Exactly. And the book encourages us to cultivate a practice of self-reflection, to listen to the whispers of our intuition, and to make decisions that are aligned with our own values and beliefs.
So it's about reclaiming that inner authority
Mhm.
and trusting ourselves to make choices that are in our best interest.
Right. And from that place of self-trust, we can start to explore the nature of contentment,
Hmm.
which is another key theme that runs throughout the book.
Contentment, that elusive state of peace and satisfaction that we all crave.
It is. The book challenges the idea that happiness is something that we achieve or acquire, suggesting that it's a state of being that's available to us right now in this very moment.
But it's so easy to get caught up in striving for something more. Always looking for the next thing to make us happy.
It is. The book argues that we often postpone our happiness, waiting for something to change or for some external condition to be met, instead of finding joy in the simplicity of being.
It's like we're living in this perpetual state of not yet instead of embracing the fullness of life as it is right now.
Precisely.
Mm.
And this particular meditation, it encourages us to cultivate a practice of gratitude, to appreciate the small things, and to find contentment in the present moment, regardless of our circumstances.
So it's about shifting our focus from what we lack to what we already have,
Yeah.
and recognizing that true happiness is it's an inside job. It's a choice that we make to focus on the good and to find peace within ourselves.
That's the essence of it. And this idea of finding peace within ourselves, it connects to another powerful meditation on the importance of letting go of the past.
Yeah, the past can definitely be a heavy burden to carry, especially if we're holding onto old hurts and regrets and grudges.
It can. The book suggests that the past is, well, it's gone, and dwelling on it only creates suffering in the present.
So it's not about denying the past or suppressing it, but about acknowledging it, learning from it, and then releasing it, so it no longer has power over us.
Exactly. And this process of letting go, it can be aided by cultivating self-compassion, which is the focus of another insightful meditation.
Self-compassion. That's something I think a lot of us struggle with. We're often much harder on ourselves than we are on others.
We are. The book, it suggests that we often judge ourselves very harshly, focusing on our flaws, our shortcomings, rather than recognizing our inherent worth, our goodness.
Yeah, it's like we have this inner critic that's constantly putting us down, making us
Yeah.
feel inadequate and unworthy.
It is, and this meditation encourages us to treat ourselves with the same kindness and understanding that we would offer to a loved one. To be gentle with ourselves when we make mistakes, and to celebrate our strengths and our accomplishments.
So it's about silencing that inner critic and replacing it with a voice of love and encouragement.
Precisely, and this self-compassion, it can help us navigate those inevitable changes that life throws our way, which
Yeah.
is the theme of another powerful meditation.
Yeah, change is definitely one of life's constants, and it can be challenging, especially when it's unexpected or unwanted.
It can. The book suggests that we often cling to the familiar, fearing the unknown, even when our current circumstances aren't really serving us anymore.
It's like we're holding on to a sinking ship instead of jumping into the life raft.
That's a great analogy, and the book encourages us to embrace change as a natural part of life, to see it
Mhm.
as an opportunity for growth and transformation, and to trust that we have the inner resources to navigate whatever challenges come our way.
So it's about recognizing that change is inevitable, and our ability to adapt and evolve is what allows us to thrive in a world that's constantly changing.
Exactly, and that ability to adapt and evolve, it can be enhanced by living authentically, being true to ourselves, and expressing our unique individuality.
Authenticity. It's such a buzzword these days, but it's a powerful concept, isn't it? It's about being true to to who we are
Mhm.
instead of trying to be someone we're not.
It is. The book suggests that that we often try to fit in to conform to societal expectations or to please others, rather than honoring our own truth and living in alignment with our own values.
Yeah, it's like we're wearing masks, pretending to be someone we're not, and in the process we lose touch with our own essence.
Exactly. And the book encourages us to take off those masks, to embrace our quirks and imperfections, and to live in a way that feels true and meaningful to us.
It's about recognizing that our uniqueness is our strength,
Hmm.
and that the world needs the gifts that only we can offer.
Absolutely. And this authenticity can be further enhanced by the practice of forgiveness, which is another key theme that runs throughout the book.
Forgiveness, it can be so challenging, especially when we've been, deeply hurt or wronged.
It can. The book talks about how we often hold on to old hurts, regrets, grudges, preventing ourselves from experiencing the fullness of life in the present moment.
It's like we're carrying around this heavy baggage from the past,
Yeah,
weighing us down and preventing us from moving forward.
precisely. And the book emphasizes that letting go of the past, it doesn't mean forgetting it or pretending it didn't happen. It's about acknowledging the past, learning from it, and then releasing it, so it no longer has power over us.
It's about freeing ourselves from the shackles of the past and stepping into the present moment with a light heart.
Right. And this process of letting go, it can be aided by cultivating gratitude, which is another powerful practice that the book encourages.
Gratitude, such a simple concept,
Yeah,
yet it can have such a profound impact on our lives.
it can. The book suggests that we often focus on what's missing or what we don't have, rather than recognizing the abundance that already exists in our lives.
Yeah, it's like we're always looking for that next thing to make us happy
Yep.
instead of appreciating all the beauty and wonder that's already present.
Right. And the book encourages us to cultivate this practice of gratitude, to take time each day to appreciate the people and the experiences and the things that bring us joy.
It's about shifting our perspective from one of lack and scarcity to one of abundance and appreciation,
Mhm.
recognizing that we have so much to be grateful for.
Absolutely. And this gratitude can be amplified by living in the present moment, which is another theme that runs throughout the book.
Living in the present moment, it's a concept that sounds so simple, yet it can be so elusive.
It can. The book suggests that our minds, they often wander, getting caught up in thoughts and anxieties that prevent us from fully experiencing the richness of life as it unfolds.
It's like we're constantly somewhere else in our minds
Yeah.
rather than being grounded in the present moment,
Right.
appreciating the beauty and the wonder of life as it's happening.
Exactly. And the book, it encourages us to cultivate a practice of mindfulness, to bring our attention back to the present moment whenever it strays, and to find peace and contentment in the simplicity of just being.
So it's about training our minds to be more present, to savor each moment as it unfolds, rather than dwelling on the past or worrying about the future.
Precisely. And this ability to be present, it can help us to access our intuition, which is another powerful tool for navigating life's challenges.
Intuition. It's that inner voice that often whispers, guidance and wisdom.
Mhm.
But we don't always listen.
We don't. The book suggests that we often doubt ourselves, seeking validation and approval from others rather than trusting our own inner guidance.
Yeah, it's like we've given away our power, looking to others to tell us what to do, how to live,
Mm.
instead of listening to the voice of our own inner knowing.
Exactly, and the book encourages us to cultivate a practice of self-reflection, to listen to the whispers of our intuition,
Mm.
and to make decisions that are aligned with our own values and beliefs.
So it's about reclaiming that inner authority and trusting that we have the wisdom and the guidance that we need within ourselves.
Right. And from that place of inner knowing, we can start to tap into our creative potential, which is another important concept that the book explores.
Creativity. It's something that we often associate with artistic pursuits,
Hmm.
but I think it can be applied to all areas of our lives.
I agree. The book suggests that we often stifle our creativity, fearing judgment or rejection, or believing that we're not talented or creative enough,
Hmm.
rather than recognizing that creativity is this innate human quality that we all possess.
It's like we've put our creative spirits in a box,
Hmm.
afraid to let them out to play,
Yeah.
rather than recognizing that creativity is this source of joy and expression and connection.
Exactly. And the book it encourages us to tap into that creative potential,
Mm.
to explore different forms of expression, and to
Yeah.
find joy in the process of creating, regardless of the outcome.
It's about recognizing that creativity is not about perfection,
Hmm.
but about expression,
Yeah.
about bringing something new and beautiful into the world, and about connecting to that divine spark within us.
Right. And that creative spark can be ignited by the practice of gratitude, which is another powerful tool for transforming our lives.
Gratitude is such a simple concept, yet it can have such a profound impact on our lives.
It can. The book it suggests that we often focus on what's missing, or what we don't have, rather than acknowledging the blessings that are already present in our
It's
lives.
like we're always looking for that next thing to make us happy, rather than appreciating the beauty and wonder that's already present.
Right. And the book encourages us to shift our perspective, to make a conscious effort to appreciate the good, and to cultivate a sense of thankfulness for all that we have.
It's about recognizing that gratitude is this powerful force that can transform our lives, bringing us joy and contentment, and a deeper appreciation for the beauty and wonder of life.
Absolutely. And this gratitude, it can be amplified by the practice of self-love,
Mm.
which is another key theme that runs throughout the book.
Self-love, it's a concept that's often misunderstood, sometimes even seen as selfish or narcissistic.
It is. The book suggests that we often judge ourselves very harshly, focusing on our flaws, our imperfections,
Mm.
rather than recognizing the divine spark that resides within us.
It's like we're constantly at war with ourselves, trying to fix what we perceive as broken, rather than embracing the wholeness of our being.
Exactly. And the book encourages us to cultivate a practice of self-love, to
Mm.
to be gentle with ourselves when we make mistakes, and to celebrate our strengths and our accomplishment.
It's about recognizing that we're worthy of love and belonging, just as we are, and that by loving ourselves, we create a more loving and supportive inner environment where we can thrive.
Absolutely. And this self-love, it can open us up to the possibility of living with an open heart,
Yeah,
which is another powerful concept that the book explores.
an open heart. It's something that sounds so beautiful, yet so vulnerable. It can be scary to open ourselves up to love, knowing that there's always the risk of getting hurt.
It is. The book acknowledges that fear, but it encourages us to recognize that love is our greatest strength. That by opening our hearts, we create a more loving and compassionate world for ourselves and for everyone around us.
So it's about finding that balance between protecting ourselves and being open to love, knowing that both are important.
Exactly. It's about recognizing that love is not a weakness, but a source of incredible power, and that by choosing to live with an open heart, we create a more beautiful and fulfilling life for ourselves and for everyone we touch.
Wow, this deep dive has been such a rich exploration of this book's wisdom. It feels like we've just scratched the surface of all the insights and practical guidance that it offers.
It's true, and what's fascinating is that it doesn't give you a set of rigid rules to follow. Instead, it encourages you to question your assumptions, to explore your own inner landscape, and to discover your own unique path to a more joyful and fulfilling life.
Exactly. So as you go back to your everyday life, here's something to ponder. Which of these meditations resonated with you the most, and how can you start to integrate its wisdom into your daily life?
Yeah. The real journey, it begins when we close the book and start to live its teachings. Who knows? You might discover that the most profound truths are often hidden in plain sight, in the everyday moments of your life.
So it's like recognizing that those shadow parts, they're not our enemies. They're just parts of us that need love, need healing, and by integrating them, we become more, I guess, more authentic.
Exactly. And in that process of integration, it can be really helped by practicing self-compassion,
Right.
which is another big idea the book explores.
Self-compassion. Yeah, that's something I think a lot of us, struggle with. We're often so much harder on ourselves than that we would ever be on anyone else.
It's true. The book suggests that we often, judge ourselves so harshly. We set these unrealistic standards, and then we beat ourselves up when we fall short. Instead of recognizing that we're all human, we're all doing the best we can with what we've got.
Yeah, it's like we had this voice in our heads, right?
Yeah.
Just constantly telling us, not good enough, not smart enough, not thin enough, uh, not successful enough.
Exactly. And the book, it encourages us to quiet that inner critic, and to try and replace it with a voice of kindness and understanding, to treat ourselves with the same compassion that what we would offer to someone we love.
So it's about recognizing that we're worthy of love, of kindness, even when we mess up, and that by being kind to ourselves, we kind of create this more supportive, more nurturing inner environment where we can grow, where we can evolve.
Precisely. And that growth, that evolution, it can be supported by really embracing the present moment, which is another big theme that runs throughout the whole book.
Yeah, the present moment. It's something that we so often take for granted. We get caught up in thinking about the past or worrying about the future, and we kind of forget to really experience the richness of life as it's happening right now.
It's true. The book suggests that our minds, they have this tendency to wander.
Yeah.
Reliving past experiences or anticipating future events, and
Mhm.
and because of that, we end up missing out on the beauty, the wonder of the present moment.
It's like we're living our lives on autopilot, just going through the motions instead of really savoring, each experience as it unfolds.
Exactly. And in the book, it encourages us to cultivate a practice of mindfulness, to bring our attention back to the present moment whenever it strays, and to find that peace, that contentment in the simplicity of just being.
So it's about training our minds to be more present,
Yeah.
to really appreciate the beauty of each moment as it comes up,
Hmm.
rather than getting stuck in the past or worrying about what might happen in the future.
That's the essence of it, and this ability to be present, it can also help us to access our intuition, which is another powerful tool for navigating all of life's challenges and ups and downs.
Intuition, it's that inner voice, right?
Yeah.
The one that often whispers guidance and wisdom, but we don't always tune in. We don't always listen.
We don't. The book suggests that we often doubt ourselves. We
Hmm.
seek validation and approval from other people rather than trusting our own inner guidance.
Yeah, it's like we've given away our power. We're looking to others to tell us, what to do, how to live our lives, instead of listening to that voice of our own inner knowing.
Exactly. And the book encourages us to cultivate a practice of self-reflection, to really listen to that quiet voice within, and to trust that we have the answers that we seek.
It's about recognizing that our intuition is a powerful source of wisdom and guidance,
Mm,
and that by learning to trust it, we can make choices that are aligned with our highest good.
absolutely. And from that place of inner knowing, we can start to tap into our creative potential, which is another important theme that the book explores.
Creativity.
Yeah.
It's something that we often, we think of artists, of musicians, but I think it really can be applied to all areas of our lives.
I agree. The book suggests that we stifle our creativity.
Mm.
We're afraid of judgment, of rejection, or we believe that we're not, not talented enough, not creative enough. Instead of recognizing that creativity it's a human quality. It's something that we all possess.
It's like we've taken our creative spirit and we've stuffed it in a box,
Yeah.
afraid to let it out, to let it play. Instead of recognizing that creativity is this amazing source of joy and expression and connection.
Exactly, and the book encourages us to tap into that creative potential, to explore different forms of expression, and to find joy in that process of creating, regardless of the end result.
It's about recognizing that creativity isn't about perfection. It's about expression. It's about bringing something new and beautiful into the world,
Yeah.
and it's about connecting to that divine spark within us.
And that spark, that creative spark, it can be really ignited by the practice of gratitude, which is another powerful tool for transforming our lives.
Gratitude. It's such a simple concept, but
Yeah.
but it really can have a profound impact.
It can. The book suggests that we often focus on what's missing, or what we don't have, instead of acknowledging all the good, all the blessings that are already present in our lives.
It's like we're always looking for that next thing that's gonna make us happy, instead
Yeah.
of appreciating all the beauty and the wonder that's already here.
That's right, and the book encourages us to shift our perspective, to make that conscious effort to appreciate the good, to cultivate a sense of thankfulness for all that we have.
So it's about recognizing that gratitude is this powerful force that can change our lives. It can bring us joy. It can bring us contentment, and it can give us a deeper appreciation for all the beauty and the wonder of life.
Absolutely, and this gratitude can be amplified by the practice of self-love, which is another key theme that we see throughout the book.
Self-love. It's a concept that a lot of people struggle with. They misunderstand it. They think it's selfish or narcissistic.
It's true. The book suggests that we often judge ourselves, really harshly. We focus on our flaws, our imperfections, instead of recognizing that divine spark that's inside each of us.
It's like we're at war with ourselves. We're always trying to fix what we see as broken, instead of just embracing the wholeness of who we are.
Exactly. And the book encourages us to cultivate that practice of self-love, to be gentle with ourselves, especially when we make mistakes, and to really celebrate our strengths, our accomplishments.
It's about recognizing that we're worthy. We're worthy of love. We're worthy of belonging, just as we are. And that by loving ourselves, we create this more loving, more supportive space inside, where we can truly grow and thrive.
Absolutely. And the self-love, it opens us up to the possibility of living with an open heart, which is another really powerful idea from the book.
An open heart. It sounds beautiful, but also a little bit scary, because opening ourselves up to love means opening ourselves up to the possibility of being hurt.
The book acknowledges that fear, but it also encourages us to remember that love is truly our greatest strength, and that by choosing to open our hearts, we create a more loving, a more compassionate world, not just for ourselves, but for everyone around us.
So it's about finding that balance, right, between protecting ourselves and being open to love,
Right.
knowing that both are important.
Precisely. It's about recognizing that love isn't a weakness. It's a source of incredible power, and that by choosing to live with an open heart, we create a more beautiful, more fulfilling life for ourselves and for everyone that we touch.
Wow. This deep dive has been really amazing, and such a rich exploration of all this wisdom from the book. And honestly, it feels like we've barely scratched the surface.
It's true. There's so much there. And what's so fascinating is that the book, it doesn't try to, give you all the answers. It doesn't lay out these rigid rules. Instead, it invites you to question your assumptions, to explore your own inner world, and to discover your own unique path to a more joyful, a more fulfilling life.